Months had bled into one another since Ryan last spoke to Taehyung, each day a muted shade of grey. She'd taken a full time job at the bookstore. Stacking shelves and ringing up customers with a mechanical smile. It paid the bills, kept her busy, but it couldn't fill the void where her stories used to live. Her laptop gathered dust in a drawer, her notebooks shoved into a cardboard box under her bed. She'd stopped dreaming, stopped hoping. The world felt smaller without Taehyung's laughter or the thrill of a new script taking shape under her fingers. She was just existing. It was a humid Tuesday afternoon when he stumbled into her life, literally. Vine was restocking the art section, a precarious tower of books in her arms, when she tripped over a stray paint can someone had left on the floor. She went down hard, books scattering, and landed in a puddle of wet crimson paint. The can tipped, splattering her shirt and jeans. She groaned, shoving damp hair from her face, only to hear a startled yelp beside her. A guy sprawled nearby, his black hoodie and jeans streaked with the same red mess. He'd been carrying a canvas bag, now splotched and dripping, and a sketchbook that had skidded across the floor. His dark eyes widened as he took the chaos, then crinkled as he burst into laughter, a loud, unrestrained sound that made her freeze. Are you laughing at me? She snapped, cheeks burning as she tried to wipe paint from her sleeve. No, no, I'm laughing at us, he said, still chuckling as he sat up. We look like we just lost a paintball war. I'm Jungkook, by the way. Nice to, crash into you. She stared at him, this lanky guy with a mop of dark hair and a grin too bright for the situation. Wine, she muttered, scrambling to her feet. And this isn't funny. I'm soaked. Me too, he stood, holding out his paint stained hands like a peace offering. Guess we're twins now. Red's my color anyway. She didn't want to smile, but the corner of her mouth twitched. He was goofy, ridiculous so, and it disarmed her just enough to keep her from storming off. They spent the next 10 minutes cleaning up Junko cracking dumb jokes. while she stayed mostly silent, her mood too heavy to match his energy. He finally left with a soggy sketchbook. She thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. The next week, she was walking home from the shop when a bike bell jingled behind her. She turned as Jungkook swerved to avoid a pothole and crashed straight into a dumpster. Paint cans again tumbled out of his bag, one bursting open and splashing blue across his sneakers and her legs. He hit the ground with a dramatic oof and looked up at her, grinning despite the mess. We've got to stop meeting like this, he said, brushing gravel off his knees. You're cursed or something. Me, you're the one who can't stay upright, she retorted, crossing her arms, but it was again that flicker of amusement she couldn't squash. Their disasters kept piling up. A coffee shop run in where he spilled latte foam on her shoes, a park encounter where his kite tangled in her hair. Each time he'd laugh it off, tossing out childish jabs. You're a walking hazard, Ryan. While she'd roll her eyes, her replies sharp but softening. They became frenemies of sorts, trading barbs over their shared chaos. He noticed, though, he never pushed. He'd just ramble on, filling the silence she left behind. One rainy afternoon, Vian was at the bookstore sorting through a box of old papers she'd dragged from her closet. Her scripts, dog eared, ink smudged relics of a life she'd abandoned. She decided to sell them for recycling, turn her trash into a few bucks. She sat behind the counter, staring at the stack, her chest tight. These were her dreams once, and now they were just nothing. Jungkook burst in, shaking rain from his hair. Yo, Ryan, you got any comics in today? I need. Wait, what's that? Before she could stop him, he snatched a script from the pile, his eyes skimming the title Coffee and Chaos. Hey, give that back, she lunged, but he danced out of reach, already flipping pages. Holy crap, you wrote this? His grin faded into something softer. This is amazing. The paint spilling artist, the writer, it's so good, Ryan. Why are you selling it? She froze, her throat closing up. It's trash, doesn't matter. Trash, he gaped at her, clutching the script like it was gold. Are you kidding? This is funny. It's real. It's you. Why would you ditch something this good? She didn't answer, just sank back into her chair, staring at the counter. Jungkook frowned, setting the script down gently. His words lingered, quiet but firm. She didn't respond, but something shifted, a tiny crack in the wall she'd built. Over the next few weeks, Jungkook became her shadow. He'd show up with sketch pads, doodling while she worked, slip her coffee with a dumb notes like, drink this grumpy. He'd read her old scripts when she wasn't looking, praising them with sincerity that made her squirm. You've got a gift, he'd say, sketching her characters as she blushed and brushed him off. Slowly, he chipped away at her doubt. He'd drag her to art supply stores claiming he needed her opinion on paints, then sneak a notebook into her bag. One night, he left a drawing on her counter, a girl with a pen surrounded by stars, captioned Right Again. She did. Hesitantly, late at night, she pulled out her laptop and typed a sentence, a page. Jungkook was there the next day, cheering like she'd won an Oscar. Told you you're unstoppable. His goofy pride sparked something in her, a warmth she hadn't felt in months. The frenemy banter softened into something deeper. He'd nudged her shoulder when she looked sad, lingered too long when their hands brushed. One evening at his tiny studio apartment, he showed her a painting, bright swirls of color, chaotic and alive. It's us, he said, grinning. She started to see it then. Taehyung had been her sun, but he'd burned her out, dimmed her light. Jungkook didn't just see her dreams, he held them up, dusted them off, made them shine. He'd carry her groceries when her arms were full, sit with her in silence when the depression crept in, never asking more than she could give. He cared fiercely, and she'd been too blind, chasing the wrong person to notice. One night, inspiration struck. She wrote a new story, an emotional, motivational tale about an artist and a writer. Their dreams mocked as rubbish until they fought back together. It was her and Jungkook, raw and real on the page. When she showed him, he teared up, then grabbed his paints. I'm doing the cover, he declared, and spent his days on a stunning front page. Two figures in a storm of color, hands clasped, reaching for the sky. They pitched it to a small publication house, nerves rattling them both. The editor loved it, greenlit it, and gave her a chance. Months later, Stains of Stardust hit shelves and soared. Readers adored its heart, its defiance. It became a massive hit. People all over the world appreciated her. Years passed and it grew into a phenomenon. Then came the call. They wanted to turn the book into a movie. The premiere night, Wine stood in her apartment, now a sleek modern space paid for by royalties. She wore a deep blue dress, her hair swept up, staring at the woman in the mirror, someone confident, alive again. The doorbell rang, and there was Jungkook, sharp in a black suit, his hair still a little messy, his grin as goofy as ever. Ready to see our story on the big screen, co creator? He asked, offering his arm. She smiled, taking it. With you, always. Yeah, just 1 second. He pulled over, the city lights glinting through the windows, and turned to her. His hands shook as he pulled out a small box, flipping it open to reveal a ring. Simple, with a tiny star shaped gem. Wine, you're my chaos, my muse, my everything. I've loved you since the paint cans and the coffee spills. Her breath caught, tears welling. She'd chased the wrong star once, but here was Jungkook, her real one, steady and bright. They drove to the premiere hand in hand, ready to watch their dreams unfold together. He exhaled, rubbing the back of his neck. I saw your movie, read your books. You're everywhere now, Ryan. And it's amazing. I'm so proud of you, but I owe you an apology. The way I treated you, your writing, your dreams, it was awful. I was an idiot, and I'm sorry. She studied him, waiting for the sting of his old words to resurface, but it didn't. She felt detached. Yeah, you were. You made me feel like my stories were nothing. I stopped writing because of you. His face fell, guilt shadowing his eyes. I know I was wrong. I didn't get it then, but I see it now. You're incredible, Ryan. She leaned back, a faint smile tugging at her lips. Thanks, but it's just not me. It's Jungkook, my fiance. He's the one who believed in me when I didn't. He's why I'm here. The color drained from Taehyung's face, his mouth parting slightly. Fiance. Yeah, she held up her hand, the star shaped ring glinting in the light. He's an artist, makes books covers, direct movies. We built this together. My silly stories came true, they just not with you as the main character. Jungkook was always the one. He swallowed hard, staring at the table. I didn't realize. I used to think you were my muse, she said, her voice steady. But you were just a detour. Jungkook's the one who saw me, who lifted me up. I chased the wrong person back then, but I'm where I'm meant to be now. Taehyung nodded slowly, a bittersweet smile flickering. I'm glad you found him. You deserve that. She stood, leaving a few bills on the table. Take care, okay? As she walked out into the sunlight, a weight she hadn't known she carried lifted. She texted Jungkook. His reply was instant. She smiled, slipping her phone into her pocket. The past was behind her, and the future, bright, messy, and hers, waited with Jungkook. Hey guys, this is it for the series. If you have watched it till here, then make sure to subscribe. And we are super close to 3,000 subscribers. So, yeah, can we reach 3,000 before this month ends? Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram only at the rate lustrous Like, share, comment down what are your thoughts about this series and what did you learn from this. And I will see you guys in the next one. Yeah, till then, bye bye.